Ohio. It's Dan here. It's 7 o'clock in the morning on Friday. Just had breakfast, a traditional Japanese breakfast, which was really good. It was like smoked salmon and miso soup and rice and this ball of something that was so tart it made my toes curl. But it was interesting. The rest of it was really good though. So yesterday, I went and had my test, speaking test and written test for my placement for where I'm supposed to be, and I'm going to find out today where they put me. But I thought I did really well on the test, and I have an aching suspicion that they're going to put me in the class several weeks lower than I want to be. But if they do that, I'll just talk to the sensei and try and get into the higher class. And I also have private tutor lessons that I signed up for. So any of the stuff that they think I need to work on, I want to practice anyways. So I'll practice with the family and practice with the private tutor. But yesterday it rained all day long, and it was great. It was so nice. It was cool. Although riding my bike in the rain with an umbrella and it was a little windy was kind of funny and interesting. And apparently, when I got home, uh, the mom told me that yeah, that's a no-no apparently. I think today, if it rains again, I'll just ride without the umbrella. What else happened? Went to the Japanese 99-cent or dollar store and got a notepad and chopsticks, but the stores are so different from the U.S. It's fun and interesting, just being lost in the aisles and looking around, and then walking by, a little old lady and her just staring, giving me a weird look, like, "Who are you and why are you here?" So my brother asked me a question. What did the family say or think when they saw how big I was? Because I'm 6 foot, 200 and almost 40 pounds or something. So I'm a fairly big guy, and when the mom came in, she's 5 foot something, not much. So they're all the dad's really tall, but I think he's taller than me actually. But she saw me and she's like, "Oh," and was definitely surprised. They were worried that the bed wasn't going to fit me, so instead of sleeping on this little framed bed, I'm sleeping more on a futon on the floor. Um, that was kind of funny. Yeah, I think that was it. Not too much yesterday though. I just did a lot of studying and flashcards for vocab. I read the entire book that we're supposed to be using, and that's why I found out that I think I'm going to get placed in a place lower than where I want to be, because I read 3/4 of the book from start to finish, and it was all stuff that I already knew. But because I don't know anybody really that speaks Japanese, or I don't get to practice it, I can't speak very well. It comes out very slow, and most of the time it's not very grammatically correct. In fact, I'd be surprised if many people understand anything that I say. But I understand so much, and if I write it down and I have the time to actually spell it out, I can usually get it right, as long as there are words that I know and things like that. That was another thing. There was a lot of words on the test that I'd never learned before, that I never thought was going to be important, because one that they kept using was to smoke, like to smoke a cigarette, and I never learned it because I don't smoke. So I kept giving them blank stares, and they're like waiting. I'm like, I don't know exactly what you're asking. But then there's a lot of words that I do know that I thought were going to be important that I haven't even heard once. And then other words that, I remember kind of looking over, but I didn't really try and memorize it because I didn't think it was going to be used, and it's used so much more than I thought. Just more to study, which is not bad. Got a list of new vocab that I'm going to start studying. and today's my first class for actual studying and teaching and all that stuff. Met some cool guys yesterday that took the test with me. Two guys from Australia, a guy from France, and a guy from Poland, I think it was. The guys from Australia were a hoot. We wound up talking and goofing off for a little bit before the test and during lunch, and then they gave us an orientation after our test and took us around. And the campus. It's not really a campus that you'd think, because it's just in the middle of houses and businesses and stuff. There's no like boundaries between residential or whatever, but there's like dorms, and then the classroom hall, and there's this. It's almost like a Zen garden that you walk through and there's another little like bar restaurant, and another small classroom where they teach tea ceremonies. They have sake tasting. They have flower arranging, all kinds of different stuff. So I'm going to try and sign up for some of those, which would kind of fun. Although I guess some of them you have to have a certain level of Japanese in order to take, which I can understand. They don't want to try and be teaching a class and the people that are in it don't know what they're talking about. What else? There was something else I was gonna say. Hold on, let me think. Okay, so I remember. So I thought this was pretty funny. Last night, after dinner, the family and I were all sitting around and we're kind of watching TV and talking, and they kept having commercials or things on the show that we were watching that was totally off the wall and hilarious, but words that I guess are more slangy, like poo-poo and pee-pee. like, I'm so childish, but it was so funny. The mom and I were laughing our butts off. One was a commercial for like diarrhea, and in Japan, there's a lot of words that describe movement or like there's a word for an empty stomach, peko peko. And or like someone full of zest and gusto, mori mori. So this one was you like eat breakfast in the morning and you have to go take a dump, so you do your business and then you feel all light and refreshed. And this commercial was just ridiculous and hilarious. And then I asked the mom, I was like, what does this word mean? And she was like, she started giggling to herself, and I had this little notebook that I went and got, so I could write down new words that I hear, and I can try and learn. And I kept writing all these words down, and at the end of the night, she was just laughing that she had taught me all these just stupid, childish words, but I thought it was great. We were both laughing nonstop, so that was pretty fun. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm looking forward to the rest of the day, and the weekend's coming up. The mom told me that there's a hike that goes around town. It's like a 10-kilometer hike, when a bunch of people get together and go to, I think, like Okazaki Castle and the zoo, and there's something else. But there's all these different places that we're going to get to go, and I'm looking forward to that. I think that's on Sunday. And then the mom works at a research institute for like the human body and like the brain and how the body works. And I guess there's only one day a year that people get to go in and tour it, and it's this weekend. So I'm going to get to go to her workplace and see the stuff that her business does. That's really cool. And then we're also going to go to the Toyota Coliseum, where the factory where they make Toyota cars, and I guess it's really cool. I'm excited because the Toyota Coliseum, who I don't know anybody that's ever seen that or even heard of it. So that'll be fun. There's something else we were talking about doing. But yeah, it should be a good weekend. I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad to just stay here and spend some more time with the family. They're a lot of fun and relaxed, and their dad is exactly like my dad. We were watching TV, and he was doing like the whole head nod, falling asleep, and it was so great because it reminded me of home. even though I'm so far away from home. So it was nice. So I miss everybody. Hope everyone's doing good. I'm still having a blast. Little discouraged with the test, depending on what happens today, but I think I can step it up and study hard and catch up to somewhere a little higher, so I don't get bored most of the time. So yeah, take it easy. I'll see you soon.